Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is the gift I made on the call this evening or this morning, wherever you are joining from. Today, we'll be working towards a particular project, and we'll be considering two major features, which are the Power Automate and an API called Postman. Today we'll be using these two applications to unanimously do a process, automate process to streamline a lot of processes that might occur during registration, third-party assessment through APIs and ETL mails. So quickly, we'll be forging ahead now to see how we can implement that. I will give you a breakdown. We'll have to create what we call a Power Automate flow. We'll have to create the SharePoint list, and finally we'll have to create our entities in what we call Postman. Now, these are the three major tasks we'll be considering in this video. So quickly to start off, now I will show you this page. This page here shows a form which is located in a URL on the website, and you are required to fill in your full name, phone number, email address, house address, um, billing status, and method of payment, and the vendor, and all of that. Now, this is simple form which is on the web, and you are an agent, and you are required to do this so that it can be stored, all the record can be stored in a database, possibly SharePoint database or MySQL as the case may be, and you don't want this a certain number of people to have access to that database. So how can you go about that? Quickly, the first thing you will have to do is to log on to SharePoint. Now, if you are on your uh, developers account, that is the Microsoft developers account, you know that you can quickly come into SharePoint. Now, once you are on SharePoint, I already have some SharePoint sites here that I often use, of which one of them is gift best. So I'll be clicking on that now. So once I click on that, how we can go about that is here at the right hand side, you can see all the list of the site I have. Prior to this video, while preparing, I have one for a tax system test, which I have here. Now, if I open that list, you would see that we have just one entry into it. So, a quick demo is if I come to my Postman and these are the record that is required, and I send this now. Once I do that, I get a feedback of the records here. Then if I come back to my browser and possibly I refresh this, I should automatically have two files here. Now That's how Postman is going to work. Now, in the same vein, if you come to this form, because I already created the HTML form, and all I have to do is to make sure I pass in the JSON API URL here. So if I come to Postman and I grab this exact URL, I copy it, Control and C on my keyboard, and I come to the source code here and I try to paste it in here. Now I can save that. Now, once I come back to my URL here and I refresh this, I can now go ahead and fill this form. I can go ahead and fill this form. Possibly, let me use that. Then I have email address, I have phone number, address, okay, could be status. Okay, let's go with just married, then unemployed, amount paid. We'll just write the amount paid, this bank transfer, which date I did it today. Now, the vendor ID, you can put that now and you hit submit. It says response successful. Now, in the same vein, if you come here, you will see in the SharePoint that that record has been added to the SharePoint. So, so that is how we are going to achieve our aim here today. So quickly, for us to do that, I already mentioned that we need to start with our Power Automate. You go into your Power Automate from your developer's environment. You want to click on Create. Now you're trying to create, and this is going to be a cloud flow. Then, okay, here you can just you may skip, but I'll just give it test uh, test work. That is the name of the. So I will not select any trigger yet. Then we'll skip that. Now, once it loads, I'm going to be selecting the HTML trigger. Sorry, the HTTP trigger. Yeah, this is the HTTP trigger. It's a premium action trigger, so we're going to connect to that. Now you can see that okay, now you have this coming in. So quickly you can, first of all, you will notice it says who can trigger this. You can either select a specific tenant, you can select whoever you want. You can say any user from any tenant, a specific user from a tenant, depending on the way you want to configure it. But for now, we're just going to say everyone. Now, the next thing is that you notice that the URL is not generated yet. So, how do we go about that? Quickly, in a short while, I will explain that. But if you come down here and you come to show advanced option, the fact that we are going to be posting an object to a SharePoint site, so there are some methods. We have things like get, pull, put, post, fetch, and delete. But in this case, we're going to be using the posts. Then that's what we're going to be using. So you select post. Now, the first thing is that you will notice the URL is not generated, it's graded out. You have to click on next step. Then possibly you can add a compose action card. You can add a compose action card. Let's just add a compose action card. Then we're going to put the body there. Then why we are doing this is because if you save that with only a trigger, it won't save. Yes, it won't save. So you have to have an action. So you just have an action card, then we save that. Now, once we save that and it's saved successfully, you will notice that the URL has been generated for you. So this is the URL we are going to use to make the call as a postman. The postman is the URL we are going to be using. So you can copy that. Now you come to your postman. Now in postman, one thing I want you to understand is that you have to come here at the top side here. You would see a plus. You click on that. And if you don't get that, you can click on your collections. Once you click on your collections, you can add a new collection. Then within your new collection, you can create a new file. But here I already have one, so I am just going to click that. Don't forget that we are using a method called post. So we're going to be using posts. Then I'm going to be pasting the URL I copied here. Now the next thing is you click on the body because this is where the actual body is going to be stored. So and you click on raw, select raw. You will notice at the ending part you have text. You want to select as JSON because Power Automate can easily read files in JSON. Now, how we are going to do this now is just to fill in your variables and the parameters. So, take for instance, we have full name from here. I can copy this. Then that is the first thing is you have to open your curly brackets. Then within it, that's where you're going to be writing your JSON file, your JSON objects. So now the thing you have first name, that is, take note of it. You have the first name is in curly bracket, then quotation, and then what is the value. Now, take for instance, I want to write in something like last name. I'm going to have something like last name, then underscore, then name, and I am going to definitely put a quotation, then open quote again, then I am going to put in, okay, let's just have Ahmed, then remove Ahmed. Now here I can remove the Ahmed there. So now the quick test is you can send this. But before you send this, um, I want to show you something. You come back to your browser, then come to your flow. Quickly, you can add a step. Now you can write http. Now, what you want to do is, or you can just write response. So what you're trying to do is that in most cases, you want to see what the response is whenever it is sent, or whatever is the response code for it. So now we can come here, we can come and see if we have that here. Now you see it has response. Now we're going to get a code of 200, and then you could do something like you want to return the output of the body, because we have a compose here, so and the body is inside. So the output of this compose is what we want to see. So once you come back to Postman and you send this now, here you should get the code here. Then you can come here and then you come to your flow. Then you can hit save. You can try before sending. You have to click on manual test. You can do manual test, then save. So now, while the manual test is trying to create, you can now go to your Postman and send this. So now you notice I have the code 200, and then it returns the variable name and the full name and the last name, which I have here. So, and if you also come to Power Automate and you preview what happened, you will notice that it received the two names here and also here. Then it tries to send a response with that, with the code of 200 and the body, which we can see from here that the code is 200 and the body of the message of the JSON. So forging ahead, that is how you can test that. So quickly, I can now decide to store whatever getting here into possibly possibly I could want to store it into SharePoint sites or SharePoint list. So now how I go about that is that I can first of all I will have to clean out this and delete it. I'll delete the action card. Now you can also delete this and add it later, just for best practices. So you can delete that. Now I am going to be passing JSON, pass JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So object notation. So now I want to pass in, I'll be passing the JSON. Now quickly, while that is here, you would notice that you have to have a form of which you want to pass. That is, you have to have maybe the data you want to pass into the database or into your SharePoint. So here I am going to be creating a full schema of what I want. So I want, okay, I want first name. I don't want the space. Then I want something like the email address. I am going to have something like this. So it's email, then quotations, then I'm going to pass in my email address there. No, that's too. Just going to pass in my email address. Once I pass in my email address, okay, let's just keep it simple with these three data, with these three records. Now we have the first name, the last name, and the email address, which is going to be passed. So I can grab this code. Now the trigger has to understand the kind of data that it will be receiving in what format. So you can come here and go ahead and click on use generated sample, then you paste in the one you copied or the format at which is going to be coming. So once you hit done, okay, yeah, there should be a comma here. Pardon me. Yeah. So you click on done and you have to put this in quotes. So done. Once you do that, it creates a property for you that is creates this format in JSON for you, which is the JSON object, the properties, which is the first name, is the string, uh, the email address. If you have something like phone number here now, you know the type could be numeric or depending on the current, you could also have currency and all of that. So that's how that goes there. Now, for the JSON action card we added, you can go ahead and put in the body. Then we're going to try to also generate a schema for that. Okay, I think this has to be amended. We have to put a comma here. Then we have to put this in double quotes. Double quotes. Then we click on that. So it generates that here for us to, or alternatively, you might just copy from here and paste it here. All good and fine. So now we can even try what we have here. We can save this flow. Once we save it now, and we can go to our Power Automate. We make sure we effect this and also put this in quotations. We also try to put this in quotes. Then we can go ahead and try sending. So once we send, you can come over to your flow. Since you already have that, either we, in most cases, you might just want to come back to your flow. And once you are here on your flow, you can hit what we call the tests. Then let's go with manual tests. Then come here, come here, and send. So let's see. It says flow run successful. Then here we have it here. Now these are the two objects, first name, last name, email address, and we also have the schema here, and this is the output. Fine, we can edit. So quickly moving further now, we want to put this into SharePoint, the SharePoint site, and what JSON does is that it breaks them into entity for us, and with that we can easily uh, put them into different columns within our SharePoint. So we can come here, then we come to you can just click on create. I want to create a new list. Yeah, it's currently creating a new list. Now I can have this as a demo, demo test. Then you can add a description, a color, depending on what you want. I want it to be on my list, fine. Firstly, yeah, we have it here now. We have a single column list here where it says title. So this title, in most cases, it comes as default. A quick way to change that is that you come to the site settings, sorry, the list settings. Now, once you come to list settings, you can come down to where it says title. So you can easily edit from here. Okay, yeah, it's here. So instead of title, we have that as what? As first name. So make sure it's the same. You can have the same column names, first name. Then we are good with every other thing. Is it compulsory? You have to state that, yeah, and that's okay with me. And I click OK. Now, once you click on OK, it changes that so you can quickly come back to your site to your demo test. Now you notice you have first name, so we can have other columns like our text. Then we select next. Once you do that, it brings out what do you want to have there. Okay, what do we have next? We have, and here we have our last name and email. Okay, we can just copy that, then come here, paste that in. So that's last name. So, and we have things like we have single colon, which is fine by me. They we can save that. Then we can also create one last one for the email address. So we can have email, then good. So now we have created our list. So we can come back to our flow. Then we click on new step. Then we search for SharePoint. SharePoint. Then we want to create a new item to the SharePoint. So you have to select the SharePoint. My own is at gift test. Then the SharePoint list is okay. The SharePoint is not yet here. Should be demo. Okay, I don't have it here yet. So in most cases, once you have this, you can easily just possibly delete this, then save the steps you have before. and you refresh, because you just created it, so it takes little time to synchronize. So you can refresh both. Now, once it's back, okay, okay, I can come to my flow, come here, then edit. Yeah. So now we can add a new step, which is SharePoint, or you can just type create. So it brings out create item SharePoint. Then I'll select my SharePoint site. Then hopefully now we should have our demo. Okay, still not here. Let's see. All right, let's come here and confirm. We have this. So let's just refresh this. Then try to check. Oh, make sure it's here. It isn't here yet. So I can go to my list. Okay, I don't have it here. So let me see. I have it as demo. You can edit settings. So you can have this here. All right. Sure. Let's see. Trying to see if it's possible. Okay, fine. You have to create the SharePoint list within the site. Within the site. So then come here and I'll click on home. So I don't have it here. New. Then click on lists. Okay, okay, blank, demo. Then you click here, you can add in the last name, the first name. I have this as last name, and I have another one as email. Email. Then I told you you can edit this from the SharePoint lists. Then we say, okay, then we are good. And now you should have that reflecting here. Okay, you can just select another SharePoint site. You could select another one. then try selecting it again. Then hopefully you should see it now. Then once you see that, you see it came like this. So you can now pass in your JSON as first name, then last name, and finally email address. So now once you do this, you can hit save. Once you hit save, once you hit save, then you can do a test, normal test, then we hit test, then you come to your Power Automate and then try to fire this by sending. So once you send and you get your code, then it says successful. Okay, you can see that the item is here. So you can come here, then try to refresh and see. Yeah, we got it here. First name, last name, and email. That is how you can automate that. So from here now, you can do other series of things, which I'll show you right about now. You can edit this. Now, you may decide to send an email. You can use send an email. Send email. You send with your Outlook. Then you use the V2. Yeah, send an email. Then to specific, you have to use what we call the dynamic contents. So from the one that was created, so I can now have okay specific subject. I could say hello, hello, then the person's first name or last name, depending last name. Then within your body, you could say hello, then you pass in the first name and the last name and say something like your email address address is then post this. So now what this is going to do is that anytime you fire this, it's going to send an email to the recipient of that email address. So we're going to save this. Now you hit on tests, then we'll do a manual, then you say manual, then we come here. This is my own email. So if I hit send and it says successful, I should be able to come to my email address and get the mail. I should be able to come here and get the mail. The mail was sent to give that mail to. So I should be able to come here. Here we have it. It says okay, trying to get it. If it's not here, okay, it's possibly coming. Email is still loading. So in most cases too, you might want to do something like set the priority as high so that the email might come with a higher priority depending. You could also want to set reply to maybe a specific email. So here we have it. It's here already. Hello Gift. I'm a gift. Your email address is this. So that's how you can do that. So with that, uh, you can have an external API fetching data from the source, then moving it into another a platform, and then from the platform you can automate it to send an email address out. So lastly, before we leave here today, now in your email address here, you could do some things. First of all, you could export these as CSV, as an Excel, depending on how or the way you want it. You could export as CSV. So, and you can have the data on your system within a specific period of time. Now we have it here within this period of time. So, and from here you can do subsequent things like automating it to always update the particular email address within OneDrive and a lot more. But I hope this session with this has really helped us today. And thank you for staying tuned to the end. Thank you very much and hope to see you in subsequent time. Thank you. See you some other time.